Mushmello, and welcome to Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting, where art takes a twisted turn. Join me as we bring to life chilling designs and spooky masterpieces, and we do it all one drill at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, grab your drills, and get ready to create something dark and dazzling. Let's paint the darkness together. Come on, let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Hello, my little creepers. It's me, Mushmello, and welcome to Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. Today, I'm sitting down with my DAC The Lamb and the Dragon by JoJo's Art. It's a 42 by 53 centimeter round drill canvas with some specials in it. And we're going to have ourselves a little WIP'n'Chat about my so-called summer staycation. So, yeah, spoiler alert, it was not the relaxing mental, physical, health rejuvenation situation that I envisioned, because apparently the memo about me taking a break from YouTube kind of got lost in the mail for some, or, you know, maybe shredded and fed to a crypt monster, but I'll address that in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm back. And, you know, if you have, I'm just going to put it out there, elephant in the room and whatnot. My hands are jacked. My arms are jacked. I'm jacked up. I'm sorry. Could not be helped. Had some medical situations, including some stuff. Apparently I have a sun allergy, and the sun took one look at my skin and said, hey, let's wreck it. And I didn't have a choice. So there's that, and some needles attacked me, some mosquitoes got me. So, like, yeah, I'm sorry to expose you to such ugliness, but hey, if my advice is just like keep working on your whip and don't look at the screen so you don't have to see it, because that's what I would do. But before we dive into all of that, I do want to take a moment to directly thank my Tier 3 paid channel members. You know who you are, and your exclusive content was sacrificed so that I could prepare 20 videos ahead of time for this staycation. And most of those were filmed and edited before I went on break and even started, but I did that so I could have a little step back and have some me time, have some time to address some of the things that we're going to talk about going on in my real life. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate your patience, your kindness, and your understanding and grace while I was preparing for summer staycation and throughout summer staycation. I wanted to acknowledge, I do know that your content suffered for me to be able to do this, and you guys have been so gracious about it. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Tier 3, and everyone, for understanding that I needed to take a little break. Seriously, thank you for letting me take the time to reset without making me feel guilty for it. You're the real MVPs of this crypt, and I am grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. Without further ado, let's dive into the tools of the trade. As I mentioned, a DAC 42 by 53 round drill with specials, The Lamb and the Dragon by JoJo's Art. I'll post a picture of the inspiration art from DAC's listing so you can see what it is exactly that we're working on and what it's supposed to look like when it's done with the inspiration, what the base art look like. Will it turn out to reflect, you know, will it render? Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so what else am I using? I am using a 3D Diamond Printing Works. That's the name of the shop. 3D Diamond Printing Works. Flexible 3D printed ruler. This one is in the size 141.5, which seems to fit this canvas perfectly. Also, I have been using and testing. This is like a harder, not flexible, tailored, tuned, measured specifically for DAC, old round DAC canvases by Stein, another Etsy shop. And I'm going to be using Flawa Designs pen, Flawa Designs tray, and of course I will be using Reid's putty, the collaborative, ew, God, no, that's the pretty pink butterfly Crafty-ish Kristyn cutesy. That can go right there. But no, I'll be using the pink and the pink, no, not pink and black, the red and black. Oh, where'd that come from? Don't know. I'll be using the red and black Reid's putty, and here's the prototype for my collaborative piece of the puzzle. If you didn't know, Crafty-ish Kristyn and I have collaborated together with Reid's putty and Resin Creations by Tammy and Brandon to bring you guys some awesome products in a thematic package representative of Kristyn's channel, Crafty-ish Kristyn, here on YouTube, my channel, Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. We worked together, made a collaboration, and you could buy the Dark and Creepy set, you could get the Kristyn set, it's all cute and whatever, pastel-y, and you know what, that's your business. And or you could buy them together, the two, representing the two besties that are complete opposites together in one box, just for you. Lots of goodies inside the box. If you're curious, the link is in the description box down below. You can find them at Reid's Putty on Etsy. Right now, as of the time of filming this, there is a site-wide sale going on, so an even better opportunity for you to get your hands on some Reid's Putty, whether it's our collaborations or something else that they offer. It's a good time to try them out. I'm excited. I am excited about the collaboration and all the goodies, and it turned out wonderful. Brilliant from the pictures I've seen and from the feedback we're getting. Everybody seems to be happy campers. So yippee skippy. With that, I think that's all the tools that I'll be using today that are of import, and if something pops up, it'll be in the description below, as with everything else, including discount codes for the shops mentioned, if I have them, and some other shops that you might find interesting. So check that box, because all kinds of info lives there. I think we're ready to dive in. Let's get started. How about we actually do some diamond painting instead of just finger wiggling and talking? Sound like a plan? Yeah, me too. I think so. Yeah. Well, you guys, I am back-ish, sort of. I'm peeking in. This is more like I'm peeping in from Summer Staycation. If you aren't familiar with what Summer Staycation is or was for me and this channel, basically, I needed to take a break from YouTube for a variety of reasons. Not limited to, but primarily some mental relaxation. I'm trying to avoid burnout. I'm going to be frank, trying to avoid burnout. But also we had, and still do have, some major medical situations that we knew of, and while we've been gone on staycation, some newly developing craptastic medical stuff that I now have to deal with moving forward. I knew some of it was coming, and I wanted to be sure that I had the time to deal with that without the channel suffering, without, you guys wondering, like, poof, where did she go? She just disappeared. And kind of just needed a break. So Summer Staycation was born, and I thought, you know what, I can't be the only one. I thought I was gonna have a lot of free time or whatever, and I thought, I'll just just provide a bunch of content for people that maybe are also on some sort of staycation. Maybe you stay at home during the summer because maybe you're like me and you get attacked by bugs in the sun to your detriment, so you stay inside like a smart person, unlike Mushy, who continually went outside and paid the price, suffered. I have battle wounds from the outside. But yeah, in theory, this was supposed to be my hot as hell summer staycation. 4 glorious weeks where I could slow down, breathe, and work on my projects at my own pace, take care of Sundown and take care of myself a little bit, and, you know, just have some me time. But the reality is, well, apparently not everybody got that memo. Not everybody got that memo. Apparently, taking a break translated for some people into Mush is still available for all of your needs, emergencies, unsolicited advice, and feedback, and passive-aggressive commentary. So, yeah, it wasn't quite the peaceful, relaxing staycation that I had planned and anticipated in more regards than one, but this is one of the regards. And so that happened. That was happening. That is happening. It continues to happen. It happened. Listen, I love you all, but I have to tell you, if I had a nickel for every time my off time got interrupted with someone requesting some kind of work-ish type thing from me, I could buy enough DAC canvases to buy a whole life-size crypt. I could build a crypt out of DAC canvases from the nickels collected from all the time that it was requested that I do some kind of workish or, you know, YouTube channel-esque sort of thing while I was on staycation. And that is why I say that apparently the memo, you know, got lost somewhere or shredded and fed to a crypt monster, because apparently it didn't reach everybody. If that wasn't enough, we've had a bit of a medical merry-go-round, if you will. Happenings and updates in the tumor department, happenings and updates in the stroke department, because apparently we can't just deal with one health scare at a time. There are now some new heart problems, which added a lovely extra layer to my anxiety during staycation. And then we had some reoccurring guest starring back surgeries in the household. So, yeah, long story short, my friends, staycation? It was more like hospitalcation. And because of all this, we're probably going to extend staycation a little bit longer. Though at this point, I should probably just rebrand it Staycation, the sequel, because life said so. But yeah, there has been some medical developments, not the great kind. And there has been I just got interrupted, and extra requests for extra video production-y work type things did get placed upon me while I was on vacation, sometimes sensitive stuff and whatnot. And yeah, it just didn't go as planned. And all the while, and just so you know, I'm not talking about the people that reached out to check in on me, or hey, did you see this cool product, or have you heard of this cool, you know, diamond painting thing? Hey, how are you? I just wanted to check in, you know, chit chat, let's chitty chatty. Not talking about those people. I'm specifically referring to people who, you know, kind of disrespecting the idea of time away, time off, wanted to put extra work on me when I worked so hard to prepare all the content and literally was looking forward to taking a break from YouTube to replenish my mental juices and my physical juices. That don't sound right. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. Those of you who are wondering, like, what is the staycation Mushy's whining about? What's the big deal? Well, staycation was, for those of you who may have missed it or, you know, came in and are newer to the channel, it was my way to share in the summer vibes with the channel and let you guys, you know that I wasn't abandoning you and the channel, and I wasn't leaving you alone. I just needed some time. So I turned this summer staycation, this need for a break for mental and medical reasons, into something fun, because that's kind of what I like to do around here, is try to keep it light and fun and entertaining, interactive, and things like that. So what I had done was, week 1 of staycation was Tales from the Cr'wip't, and we kicked it off with dark, creepy storytelling, perfect for hot summer nights when you're avoiding the sun like a proper crypt dweller should. I wanted to go ahead and showcase and give fans of the Tales from the Cr'wip't series. So you had 5 full days, Monday through Friday, of Tales from the Crypt for you to listen to and comment on while you were diamond painting the summer heat away. And then we had week 2 of summer staycation, where I prepared for you guys 5 full episodes of Figure It Out Friday, another series I like to do on my channel where we work up a mystery canvas and you guys get to see it come to life and try to guess what it is right along with me. And we condense that, instead of every Friday, I condense that into 1 week, 5 days. And we started it start to finish. And this time I did a little something especially extra, see what you guys thought of it. And we did it in time-lapse form while Sundown and I commented. We had our little commentary going while you got to watch it come together in time-lapse. And that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Got to see it from blank canvas to completed canvas, all within the course of a week. And guess right along with us every day about what it is we're seeing and how we think it's going to turn out. And I ended it with a post review so you could hear my final thoughts and complaints and pros and cons and all the things about that mystery canvas. And so I did that. And then week 3 of summer staycation was a Monday through Friday 5-episode full week of Fact or Fiction, a brand new series to the channel. And I tell you creepy, weird stories, and you guess which ones are real and which ones were pure bull. You know what? Bull poo-poo. Just my way of spreading the madness a little bit. From what I've heard, you guys have been really liking that, and honestly, same. I enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit of a bite-sized WIP'n'Chat situation, and it was just a fun new way for me to be able to interact with you guys. It was interactive. You know, I told you the stories and asked you to take your guesses, and then in the next episode you could find out if you were right or wrong and let me know if I bamboozled you or not. It was fun for me to like try to bamboozle, because I'm not the world's greatest bamboozler, to be honest, and so I had to work really hard to hide if I was telling you BS or not. It was a struggle, okay? But it was a lot of fun seeing if I gotcha or not. So there was that. And then week 4 was variety week. Basically kind of a grab bag of content. A little of this, a little of that, and some chaos sprinkled in for flavor. We had some guest appearances on the channel, some guest content, if you will, and there was a little bit of a variety, a little guide, little how-to, just giving you guys a little peek at what else you can find on the channel. Following the extension of staycation, you'll get to see, if you haven't already, unboxing, some completion, some post review situation. So you get to get a taste of a little bit of everything that we do on the channel. So a variety week with some special guest creators that invade my channel with their creepy goodness and spread the love. So very excited about that. I hope you enjoyed it. I know that we all did. And yeah, that was Summer Staycation. That is how the docket was laid out, my friends. So there were some pros and cons to this whole staycation situation. As with most things in life, nothing's perfect, right? Some pros. I got to create some new content formats that I am really excited about, and that's the time-lapse, sort of time-lapse with voiceover commentary, kind of like you find on Blu-rays and stuff, where they're like, watch the movie with the cast commenting throughout the whole thing as you watch. It was kind of like that sort of idea. And I liked that. I thought it was fun to see the entire canvas come together as we discussed it, you know, Sundown and I. And yeah, I was excited about that. I liked it. I hope you did too. Let me know if you prefer, which format you prefer, because previously I was doing it like every Friday we'd do a whole row or panel, as I like to call it, and I would check in with you guys periodically when I saw something of note or something new or got a new clue, a new color came into the picture and stuff. And then this time you guys just got to watch it in hyperspeed get put together, and we start talking, well, here's where this came in and here's where we knew this, and I think this, you know, at this point this is what was going on. You know, that kind of thing. That was fun. And then I had a lot of fun and really enjoyed the guest content. We had content from Dark Goddess herself here on YouTube, and we got some time lapses from her, and they were amazing, mesmerizing as always. She claims she filmed them in time lapse, but if you know, you know. And I know her. I think that's her regular speed. She just doesn't want anyone to know that she has that superpower, because I tell you what, Dark Goddess, aka Tanya, my cart goblin, my OG cart goblin, and close personal friend, by the way, she breezes through canvases like a hot knife through butter. She just, you know, one day I'll see a post, look at what I just hauled, you know, and then the next day it's like, look, all of them are done. And I'm like, girl, you got some magic. She's got some magic over there. She's a quick diamond painter. So I'll leave it up to you to decide if it was time lapsed or if it was just her superhuman ability to diamond paint at lightning speed. Who's to say? Like I said, I got my theories. I think I know. She was born with a super diamond painting power. And you can't convince me otherwise. So there's that. I cannot find the symbol I'm looking for. Found it. We also had guest star Crafty-ish Kristyn crashing the channel. That was actually pretty funny. I was highly amused by her video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. There were some spoilers and Easter eggy things in there. Let's see if you caught every little hint and clue and whatnot. That was really fun, and you should definitely go check out her channel as well, Crafty-ish Kristyn, if you haven't already. But that was very kind of her to make a video to help me with the summer staycation content. So that was fun. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about all that, except for I really appreciated my friends stepping up, helping me out with my summer staycation, because as we'll discuss in a moment, I was struggling, and I had to throw up the bat signal and ask my friends for some help, because, well, hopefully you'll understand why as we kind of get into the cons of summer staycation. Not everything always goes as planned, and sometimes, as with most things in life, there are the cons to balance out the pros. And there were some cons that I anticipated, and there were some cons that I didn't anticipated. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, I guess, just jump in and tell you some of the darker side of staycation. Oh, good. And right in time for some color blocking, which will make it easier to talk about. Yay! So yeah, the cons. The break wasn't actually the break it wasn't actually a break at all. It wasn't the break I'd hoped for. I would argue that it wasn't much of a break at all, to be honest, and I'm pretty bummed about that. I had medical interruptions galore, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that for those who are interested. And then, like I mentioned, some people seemed to think that vacation meant now is the time to demand extra from Mushy. My stress level sometimes matched horror stories that I was telling. Yeah, the stress, which is one of the major reasons why I was taking a staycation break, there wasn't much of a stress reduction component to my staycation. So that's a bummer. It's a bummer, but again, life is life, and life will throw you curveballs, and you just kind of got to roll with it. I had envisioned for my staycation pre-filming all of this content, 20 videos for you guys to enjoy over 4 weeks while I was gone. And I had looked forward to actually being gone for largely. I mean, still peeking in on comments and replying to those who took the time to watch the videos, and still some interaction on the Facebook group and things like that. But in large part, I was really, really looking forward to my first ever break since I started my YouTube channel. I really, really needed it to rejuvenate mentally and start rolling back down the right side of the burnout hill, if you will. I needed it for stress reduction, so I didn't feel like I was always racing and obligated to XYZ and racing the clock and watching, oh gosh, I need to make sure I have a video schedule. I really, really needed that. And even more so as the staycation went on, I realized that how much I really needed that. And unfortunately, I didn't get much of that mental break as I had hoped. And again, I want to reiterate, I know that some of you, and please hear me and listen to my words on this. I know there are some of you that reached out to me during the staycation. You sent me a message, you left a comment or a post. And right now you must be thinking, oh my gosh, she's talking about me. I bugged her during staycation when I asked her how she was doing or what she was up to or how was everything going or, yada, 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 the good things. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about any of those interactions or talking about you. I'm specifically only referring to the occasions where maybe someone blatantly disregarded and disrespected my need for a break by requesting some kind of work-ish, if you can call it work, or channel related things from me, content-wise, or just wanted more from me than what was respectful for the situation. Does that make sense? I'm not talking about the casual conversations and the check-ins and things like that. So please do not misunderstand me on that. I greatly appreciate it. And it felt really nice to know that people cared and that people were checking in on me. And for those of you who that applies to, that is not what I'm speaking of. I'm specifically speaking of the requests for extra content, extra work. Can I post this? Can I make a video that? Can we talk about this agreement, this arrangement, this? And I'm just like, when I get back from my staycation, when I get back from break, I will be ready to tackle these businessy things, this worky type of stuff. But I'm not ungrateful. Please don't mistake that. But also, I had expected some level of cooperation and respect of the fact that I was taking a break, because you know darn well that if roles were reversed and it was somebody else that was taking a break and they said, I'm going on a break for medical and mental reasons, I will be back in a month, and I left all sorts of content and notifications. I was telling the world, staycation. I'm here but not, you know what I'm saying? Please kind of do not disturb, you know what I mean? And in some instances that was not respected. That was a huge con for me over the staycation. Well, why, Mushy? I mean, what's the big deal? You were just taking a little break. It wasn't totally wrecked. I'm sure you did get some downtime. Well, no. No, because the other thing that kind of wrecked staycation, my break, was medical. As a lot of you who have been around here know, and if you're new and you don't know, here's your sign. We are a household chock full of medical woe. We have medical issues up in here. Hence why we are designated as disabled, because our medical woes are such that we cannot live normal human lives with our conditions. I've talked about it before, but in case, like I said, in case there's new ears or people that maybe missed those videos, I have a condition called hepatic adamantosis, and basically I have an obscene amount of tumors on my liver. My tumors, while adenomas, aka generally designated benign, non-malignant, not evil, not cancer, I have a rare type of tumor. It's been biopsied several times, that my tumors have been biopsied. It's been confirmed by the Mayo Clinic. My tumors are special little snowflakes that actually do have a switch that can turn. They grow in benign, but whenever they feel like it, they can turn malignant, cancerous. Granted, the percentage of chance for that happening is, I guess, objectively, subjectively, I don't remember, but one of the IVLEs, low. However, mine is increased because of the number of tumors that I have, over 24 on my liver, and my family history. I had cervical cancer in my early 20s. I have a strong family history of cancer. It's taken out pretty much my whole paternal side of my family. My father is currently fighting prostate cancer, and when I last checked with him on that matter, the cancer has gotten worse. He's gone from 1 tumor on his prostate to now having 2 tumors on his prostate, so it is advancing. And my uncle, he passed away from liver cancer that metastasized to his stomach and esophagus. My grandfather died of a brain tumor. My great-grandma, my grandpa's mom, died of lung cancer, and she was not a smoker. So it's right, my whole paternal line just taken down and out by cancer, and I have experience with it myself. And so the likelihood, basically my oncologist put it to me like this: it's not a matter of if these are going to turn malignant and cancerous, it's a matter of when. So we need to keep an eye on them so that we catch the when it happens, and we can start treatment ASAP for your best shot. But we have to catch it as soon as possible. So I do get a lot of MRIs to check on them, their growth, their appearance. Do they look spiky, or are they still nice and smooth? Are there more? Are there less? Are they bigger? Are they smaller? Right before, or at, maybe it was as staycation was starting or right before staycation, I did have a liver MRI done, my normally scheduled check of the tumors. And it turns out that there were, oh gosh, it was five or six new tumors had grown. The rest of the tumors stable. They didn't get bigger, but they didn't get smaller. They didn't go away. They all look the same. They're in the same spot. They're the same size. They don't appear any different. But one of the five new tumors, or 5 or 6 new tumors that magically appeared on my most recent MRI, new growths, one of them showed signs of HCC, which is hepatocellular carcinoma, cancer. So I am currently in the process of getting follow-up testing, including blood work, cancer markers in the form of cancer markers that can indicate cancer in certain parts of the body. And so I've been dealing with the idea that it has begun. The thing that my oncologist warned me about 5 years ago, when my first tumors were discovered, and the warnings that I was issued about these particular types of tumors, combined with my family history and the dangers, all that stuff. I've been plagued with, the thoughts and worries that this might be the beginning of some stuff. So I do have some high stress, anxiety, and worry about that, and am awaiting more testing and answers. Don't have anything more to give you. And if I do, I will dispense that information if I feel it's appropriate and if I'm ready, when I'm ready. But that's all you get from me on that for now. Not only did I need time on staycation to process that and start dealing with that appointment wise, also I have, as some of you may know, back in March I had a brain damaging stroke, and I have been working with stroke specialists to try to find out exactly the cause of the strokes. And as part of the testing and special, words are hard, special consultations with various specialties, one of them recommended that I have some heart testing done, some echocardiogram situation, bubble test situation, blood work, and things like that. On staycation, I got fitted with a 1-month heart monitor. So I have this device plugged into my chest for the next month so that they can monitor what my heart's doing over a 30-day period of time, 24/7, and see if there's anomalies and what those are. I had an echocardiogram done, which is basically an ultrasound of my heart, and a bubble test where they put in an IV and they shoot microscopic little, I know this is contrary to everything we know about, like, you know, we see shows, oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, there was an air bubble in the line and it, yeah, you know, bad juju. But apparently there is a way to pump little bitty air bubbles in directly into the heart through an IV that is survivable and safe. And they watch that on the ultrasound to see basically how the blood flows in your heart, if there are any holes in your heart, and things of that nature, obstructions, whatever. I did have that done a little while back, but apparently the local doctors suck, and were the results were inconclusive. They were not fully, I guess they didn't do the test right, because my specialists at Barnes Jewish up in St. Louis said this information is cockadoodie. We need real actual information, so do it again here, please. And I did, while on staycation, have that redone. They did have to do 2 bubble tests to confirm that I have something called a PFO in my heart, which is essentially, the way it was described to me is, and this is something I didn't know, this is new information I got over staycation. I have a hole in my heart between the left side and the right side. So there's like the right side of your heart's, you know, is a piece, and then the left side of your heart's a piece, and they kind of nestle together, but there is a wall between them, right? And normally what happens is blood flows up into the right side and into the lungs, where it gets broken. Any clots or anything like that get broken apart, gets filtered by the oxygen and stuff in your lungs. It's like a screen that filters the crap and breaks it all up. And then it flows back in from your lungs to the left side of your heart, and then it comes out of there and goes to your brain. Well, because of this hole in my heart and the fact that the direction of blood flow to and from this hole in my heart, they said it was right to left shunting, which means things are going in the right side of my heart and blood is bypassing the whole lung filtration system and instead just skipping that whole step, and some of it's just leaking into the left side of my heart without being filtered and broken up by the lungs. And then the theory is pooling into, you know, a clot can come into the right side of my heart, and where normally it would get broken up by the lungs and the oxygen and then filtered unclotted back into the left and on through the body into the brain. But my special little heart with that special little hole, the bloods and the clots are going in through the hole, bypassing the lungs, not getting broken up and filtered, and then from my left part of my heart, that blood clot, shoop, right up to my brain. Bam. Stroke. Strokes and TIAs and embolisms over and over and over and over. So that was news to me, though there is some hope, because the stroke specialists have some kind of weirdo calculator situation that I guess they can calculate the likelihood that a hole in my heart and the place that it's at and how it's, you know, how much is getting through and all that stuff. Like the likelihood, the percentage of likelihood that that's what's causing my strokes. And the doctor did say that based on their initial calculations, pending further follow-up with cardiology, is that there's only, and I don't know if this is good or bad, to be honest, but there's only about a 38% chance that this hole in my heart with the shunting is the cause of my repeated stroke and mini stroke episodes. So, I mean, yay, because it's only 38% chance that it's the hole in my heart, right? But then if you think about it, boo, because If it's not that, what is it? Because they can't find another cause yet. So, I mean, and I'm still left with a hole in my heart that is going to need to be addressed for longevity of life and survivability, right? So, yeah, I mean, I got that news over staycation, and then during the first week we drove up to St. Louis. We had to be there for 3 days. He got a temporary temporary spinal cord stimulator inserted into his spinal cord. And the lead, so there was a pokey, a big, long, ugly, scary looking pokey that they inserted into his spinal cord, like inside the spinal cord. Risk of paralysis and all kinds of other bad stuff, like super scary to me. But he was totally chill, but I was like freaking out because of the risks and dangers involved. And it was poking into his spine, but came out of his body. A long little cord came out of his body and into a battery pack that was like taped and glued to his backside. Not his backside, not his butt, but like his back on this kind of off to the side a little bit. So like you could see like this line, and I knew that little line, that little wire was like connected to something inside his actual spinal cord. And I was terrified the entire 7 days that it was there. That I mean, I had to hold my breath, clench my jaw every time he moved. There was a bunch of restrictions. He couldn't bathe at all. We had to sponge bath for 7 days. He really, I mean, that was one of those I hate it, but I don't kind of things. I mean, it sucks when you can't wash yourself, like you can't cleanse yourself properly, but also sponge baths for 7 days every day. He gets sponge bathed by yours truly. So I guess that's the payoff. That was like the bone, well, hey, I know this sucks, but here's your, let me throw you a nugget. Let me throw you a bone here. You get to be sponge bathed. So I was terrified the whole time, because if it got hit, pulled, if he turned or, in his sleep, moved the wrong way, a certain way, what if that lead got bumped, moved, pulled out, something like that, and there were stitches in his back trying to like hold it in place and stuff, and there was like big bandages, and like you couldn't hug him, you couldn't wrap your arms around him, he couldn't lift his hands over his head, he couldn't bend down and even like put shoes on or anything like that, and just literally he couldn't lift anything heavier than a gallon of milk, like so about 7 pounds. I was terrified the whole time that all of a sudden something was going to happen, accidentally, and that he was just going to drop to the floor paralyzed, and that was going to be it, done, or that he had sepsis before. There was a complication with a previous spinal cord stimulator that was in his back and got relocated to a different location, and during that process he got sepsis and almost died. And so I'm thinking about the fact that he's had sepsis, and so he could easily have sepsis again with this procedure, and we could lose him that way. We could, I just, you guys, the sheer stress and panic. But the whole time I couldn't help it. Some of it leaked out here and there, but I was really working hard to do my best to not make it worse and more scary for him. So I'm trying to put on my big girl panties and my stone face, but inside, and sometimes, like I said, sometimes there were moments of weakness where I was extremely tired or panicky or stressed out that it kind of leaked out a little bit, and I feel guilty and terrible about it. But There were times where inside in my head, I'm just panic mode. And so, as you can imagine, with all this going on, all this new medical news, and Sundown going through his back stuff and the risks involved in that, and this new news about cancer being indicated on some new tumor growths on my liver, as if I didn't already have enough tumors on my liver. Let's add a few more and let's make them spiky. And a hole in my heart, and the strokes situation, just everything just kind of all culminated around the time of staycation. In honesty, I knew some of it was coming, like I said, and that's why I planned staycation. And I wanted it to be fun for you guys. Hey, we're just going to take a staycation and relax and have fun and chill. I didn't want to bring you guys down, so I didn't mention any of it at the beginning. But now that staycation's over, and these new developments in health, both mine and Sundown's, are likely going to impact the channel. My regularly scheduled content. Unfortunately, videos like this where I can't help but let it leak out a little bit in terms of the bummerness of it and stuff, the reality. There might be signs moving forward, because these are things that we're going to be dealing with. Just because summer staycation week 4 has concluded does not mean that the things going on in our lives are going to conclude and stop being butt heads as well. So yeah, that's the other stuff that I've been dealing with during staycation. I had planned on leisure diamond painting when I felt like it. We were going to binge watch all these shows and movies, and I was going to play the heck out of some 7 Days to Die over on Twitch. I was going to just be a zombie killing machine. I was going to take naps. I was going to totally just, chillax, go on day dates with Sundown and stuff like that. And unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we planned because of some of these unforeseen circumstances, right? He didn't realize that when he got the temporary put in that he was going to be so restricted, and that he was basically going to need to be taken care of. And I'm sorry, no offense to Sundown. I know how he's gonna feel about me saying this, but I'm sorry. But I mean, there are some parallels to taking care of an infant and taking care of someone who has been rendered largely dysfunctional for 7 days. There's so many movements that he could not do, so many things that he could not do for himself. So that we were not expecting. He wasn't expecting it. I don't think I was fully expecting it. He thought he was just going to get it put in and maybe have a day of rest and be out doing all the things he normally would do. He couldn't do anything, and basically had to kind of sit around like a bump on a log because he was so restricted by the doctors and the device. He was so confident that he was going to be able to just continue as normal while the temporary device was in, that he even scheduled some work for himself for after we got back from the surgery. And he didn't even consider that he would be placed on such restrictions. So when we got back and he literally could not do anything for 7 days and had jobs and work lined up, yours truly picked up the mantle and spent most days of the first week of the staycation. I was out keeping the landscaping situation floating. I had his yards that he would normally be responsible for mowing and maintaining. I had to go out and take care of that. You mow during the day when people are home and awake and stuff like that. You don't wait until early morning when they're still sleeping, or late in the evening or whatever when they're trying to have dinner or go to bed. So I had to be out in the sun, which is not good for me. My body does not, because of my liver and it's continual declining of function, which helps with body heat regulation and such. The heat, the sun is hard on me, and I don't know what's going on, if it's something medical or just a fun new development that my body is throwing at me. But we're now looking into what's going on, because when I go out in the sun, I get my skin turns like red and blotchy. I get swollen everywhere, and all these, it's like a blister, like somebody threw me in a skillet. I just, in front of your very own eyes, standing right there, I can be out in the sun for about 15 minutes, and I start feeling like I have my skin on a hot stove burner, and it starts blistering in front of your very eyes. What the hell was that? Who goes out into the sun and starts freaking sizzling like bacon in a skillet? Me, apparently. So, yeah. And then another development is they're wanting me to test for lupus. So that's potentially on the table as well. Like I don't have enough going on. I'm just like, we can stop anytime you want. Anytime you want to stop adding to this list or making the list more egregious, feel free, doctors. If you want to scale it back a little bit, can we just stop looking for things to be wrong with me, please? Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, all of this happened in a short period of time, and at least most of it did, and I've been trying to deal with that and dealing with the unexpected things that we didn't anticipate, and therefore summer staycation was not at all a break. It was not at all, mentally or physically, it was not a relaxation situation. I haven't gotten to play 7 Days to Die at all in like a month. The entire month, I don't think I've played it at all. I've fallen behind on working on canvases. I'm working on one now. I do have another completion, and I got some of the mini kits done that I had gotten because we were up at the hospital. We went to St. Louis the first week of August, and then 7 days later. So we went on August, I think it was August 1st. Then we went on August 7th. And we go back on September 3rd. So it's like back and forth and back and forth. It's expensive. It's exhausting. It's really hard on the bodies. And it's really hard on Leah because she has to take care of her job, her dog, and the entire farm and the flocks and the property while we're gone, whether it's a day or multiple days. And at the minimum, our trips are 12-hour round trips in the car. I mean, just driving alone, we're gone 12 hours. And then you add doctor's appointments in there. There are days where these trips are 20 to 24 hour trips that we're gone. We leave and you don't see us again for 20 to 24 hours or more. They're exhausting. They're so exhausting and expensive. It gets to the point where people have asked here and there, well, why don't you just stay the night in a hotel? And so we go so much that we used to stay in a hotel, but if we can avoid it now, we do. If it can be a day trip, that's what we do, because we go up there so much that it's become financially infeasible for us to get a hotel and the food, all that stuff, and the stress that it causes our daughter. Being out here in the country all alone. There's been a couple times we've made the trip and there's been a catastrophe on the farm that we aren't here to help her. We weren't here to help her, and she had to handle it on her own, and it was stuff she shouldn't have had to handle. It was stuff that was difficult for her to handle emotionally and whatnot. But that's life. I'm starting to sound whiny. I don't mean to. It's just I'm explaining why I'm sitting here saying, well, my staycation was not really a staycation, and instead of being vague and being like, things are happening. I mean, there you are, folks. Things are happening. But yeah, that was my staycation. Not very restful, not very relaxing. Didn't get to do any of the things I wanted to do. I also had wanted to clean up and rearrange my craft room. Needed to get caught up on some inventorying of canvases that have come in. I needed to finish my drill conversion into my new drill spares setup that I've been doing and pecking away at for months and months now. I haven't just sat down and just transferred them all yet. Plus I want to get this birthday canvas done for her, and then we have our summer WIP, which is Lucifer, and I have the tier 3 WIP, which is You Don't Want to Know, unless you're a tier 3 member. It's spicy. And you know, just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of new and worsening stuff. On the plus side, Sundown's back stimulator, spinal cord stimulator situation seemed to, the temporary one went very, very well. And there was none of the catastrophes I was worried about happened. And that's great. And it had great results. And he was even part of a medical study. He was invited to be a participant in a medical study so they can gain more information to help paralyzed people maybe gain some mobility back and update some textbooks on nerves and what spinal cord. I don't know. You know what? I'm not a med student. I'm not a scientist, but it has something to do with the spinal cord and nerves and people who are paralyzed gaining whatchamacallit, gaining mobility where before they hadn't, and improving textbooks that were vague and outdated with more up-to-date specific information about what parts of the spine and nerves and whatever control what parts of the body. So he was the first trial patient that they had and got a bunch of information from him. And yeah, that was staycation. So what I had imagined, like I said, was naps, binge watching TV, no stress, no diamond pain, no video games. That was my 3 primary goals: video games, naps, binge watching TV, rinse and repeat. And I literally didn't get any of those, not even in little bits. Didn't get any of that, and instead got all the crap. So anyone who wanted to know how my staycation went, there it is. Hopefully you enjoyed staycation, though. It was really important for me that you enjoy staycation, which is why I frickin' spammed you with 20 videos Monday through Friday, 5 videos a week, for 4 weeks, is because worst case scenario, which is kind of what happened, if I couldn't enjoy staycation as I had planned, I wanted you to be able to. So hopefully you did. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, though it didn't help that notifications weren't going out, as what I'm hearing. For a lot of people, weren't getting notified. So a lot of the videos got missed because people weren't getting told about them. That's spiffy. But hopefully you weren't a victim of that situation, the great notification drama, the missed notification drama, I should say. And if you were, like I said, there is a playlist on the channel. It's Hot as Hell Summer Staycation 2025. You can find every single video I created and that my friends created for Summer Staycation on my channel will be right there in a nice little package for you, and you can watch the ones you missed, or if you missed them all, watch them all, or just, I don't know, cherry pick which ones you want to see. Whatever floats your boat. I did it for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And yeah, it was fun, and there was that. I mean, that came out of Summer Staycation. Had a lot of fun making some of this content for you guys. So yeah, while Summer Staycation didn't turn out exactly how I planned and anticipated and looked forward to, we did get some killer content out of it. And now I'm here with my ruler, and my lamb and my dragon is under the pin, and we're chatting, and I get to chat with you amazing people. I would love to hear from you. If you took a summer break this year, was it actually a break, or did life throw you a curveball too? Let me know. Share the things in the comments down below. I can't be the only one whose summer staycation just got blew up. Hopefully yours didn't, but you know, hey, if you want to vent, you can vent down in the comments right along with me. Let's wine together. We'll get some cheese. It'll be a thing. We'll have some wine and cheese, whatever. But if you had a great staycation or vacation, I would love to hear about it too, because I want to live vicariously through you. Drop all your stories in the comments below, because misery loves company, and we can all laugh about it together in our creepy little corner of the tubus of Ubis. All right, creepers, I'm going to keep working on this section and switching between this ruler and the other one that I'm testing to see if either one earns the crown of Ruler Supreme. We shall see. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sticking with the channel through Staycation, the unofficial extended cut, and for always being a part of this wonderfully weird community. Until next time, stay creepy, stay crafty, and remember, sometimes the scariest part of summer isn't the horror stories we tell around the campfire. It's the vacation you thought you were gonna get, but didn't. Stay naughty.